Hi, this is an EWTN Bookmark Brief. I'm Doug Keck. I just had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Gerard M. Verschuuren about several of his books, including one entitled 60 Catholics Who Changed the World, available through our EWTN religious catalog. Doctor, why did you decide to write a book about Catholics who changed the world?
Because I found out that we are not quite aware of where we came from. You know, nowadays we are all supposed to be all inclusive, except religious people and especially Catholics. But we have lost the idea that Catholics shaped our world. And I wanted to make that clear with a book. And I thought I'm going to find all kind of Catholics who have played an enormous, important part in our history. And we have forgotten that. We have forgotten that. So let's take the most important one, Pope Gregory the 13th. He started Gregorian calendar. Every person on this earth will change clocks on the first day of January 1st, thanks to Pope Gregory. And there are so many hospitals. Saint Benedict had the first hospitals. They were all attached to his monasteries. Human rights, we talk about it day and night, and now we even talk about animal rights, which is basically nonsense. But where does the idea of rights come from? Saint Robert Bellarmine. And Jacques Maritain, a philosopher, he was, even the UN asked him to draft a thing on rights, human rights. Social justice, Dorothy Day. Freedom of press, Saint Brandsma, a Dutchman, so I'm a little biased on that one. Heliocentrism, the Earth is not in the center of the universe. Copernicus, he was even a canon, a Catholic one. The printing press. Protestants always say, oh, they invented the Bible. Of course, they didn't invent the Bible. They didn't even print the first Bible. Johannes Gutenberg did. And then finally, they learned from him how to do it. Blood transfusions. What would we do without blood transfusions? Karl Landsteiner, a Catholic again. I mentioned already the Big Bang. Even something like the minimum wage. Would you ever realize that that was basically mentioned and introduced by a Catholic, a priest, Father John Ryan? Minimum wage. Nowadays we say, yeah, that is so basic. And how did John Ryan know that? Because Leo the 13th, he was our Pope who gave us almost everything about social issues. He found that once the guilds, in the past, in the Middle Ages, we had guilds. Everyone was a member of a guild if you were having a certain trade. And those guilds, they did everything for the personal life of their people. They did everything for their spiritual life. They had all kinds of saints and patrons. When that fell away, what did we need? And then Leo the 13th said, we need something like social justice and not communism and not class warfare, but we need something. And unions at that point were an important tool to replace the guilds. Catholics. So I would say now,
let me ask you one question just before we go in our time for our brief is, why do you think people are so ignorant of all of this today?
Partly poor catechesis and education. Most priests give a sermon about very harmless kind of issues that no one can feel offended about. I wish they would teach a little bit more about doctrine and the background of things. How did things happen? So if you are not being taught of that, how are you supposed to know? And parents, because they come from the same parishes, they don't know either. Sorry that I put everyone down. I'm not putting everyone down. I'm just saying there is something missing in our education. And Catholic schools don't do that anymore. They focus on mathematics and science, and those are our new ideologies, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully people will pick up this book and learn about the 60 Catholics who changed the world. And our author, Dr. Gerard M. Verschuuren, a book available through the EWTN Religious Catalog, EWTNRC.com, is the place you can get it. And thank you so much for stopping by our EWTN bookmark set to talk to us about this book. We'll catch you next time. Thanks.